Breaking news: a seawater flood could be used by Israel to destroy the tunnels that Hamas uses. Reportedly, Israel intends to flood the tunnels beneath Gaza with seawater in order to coerce Hamas into abandoning them. U.S. Officials informed the Wall Street Journal that the IDF planned to use water from the Mediterranean Sea to flood the terror group's underground network in an effort to destroy it. It has been reported that the IDF has gathered a minimum of 5 pumps that can cause a subterranean waterfall of hundreds of thousands of liters per hour. Approximately 1 mile north of the Al-Shadi refugee camp in northern Gaza was supposedly where the pumps were found. Israel is currently debating whether or not to use the tactic, according to the officials, so it has not announced when it plans to try to unleash the flood on the tunnels, which are larger than the London Underground. They told the newspaper that there were few other options to permanently disable the Gaza metro, but they were afraid it would bring international condemnation. Reports indicate that some American officials privately voiced reservations about the proposal. The United States is Israel's most important ally and has recently provided the country with hundreds of millions of pounds to fund the development of anti-tunnel techniques. Though it would not elaborate, the IDF did state that it was various ways dismantling the network. Hamas has made devastating use of the tunnels thus far in the war, using them to hide out underground and launch surprise hit-and-run attacks on Israeli soldiers. Hamas maintains that its network stretches over 300 miles, and its members are thought to be hiding in it, along with the 137 hostages who are still alive and most of its weaponry. Spider web of passageways. According to Yehuda Lifshitz, an 85-year-old former hostage who was freed in October, the structure resembles a spider web and contains expansive rooms that resemble arcades. According to the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, numerous tunnel shafts appear in civilian buildings like mosques, schools, and hospitals, and some of them are even equipped with running water, electricity, and bedrooms. It is estimated that the entire tunnel network would be rendered inoperable after weeks of flooding by seawater. While this may buy the remaining hostages some time to escape above ground, it could also deprive Hamas of a significant tactical advantage and guarantee their evacuation. Israel has reportedly destroyed 60 miles of tunnel and over 500 entry points since invading Gaza, but it is now resorting to more creative approaches to eliminate the threat. So far, the Israeli Defense Forces have tried to save lives by using dogs, robots, and drones to investigate the network, despite having a specialized corps of anti-tunnel engineers and underground commandos. Unusual approaches. Destroying and blocking the tunnels has also involved the use of explosives and expanding foam. Some have drawn parallels between the proposed new flooding plan and Egypt's 2015 operation to flush out a network of Hamas smuggling tunnels beneath its border with Gaza using saltwater. Although the tunnels have been dug through permeable soft sandstone, there are concerns that the use of seawater flooding in Gaza could lead to unintended consequences by seeping into the already scarce drinking water supplies. Water and sewage infrastructure experts are uncertain about the effects of pumping saltwater. According to John Alterman, Senior Vice President of the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, D.C., the impact on groundwater reserves is difficult to predict. Furthermore, the effect on the stability of adjacent structures is difficult to predict. The 2015 floods in Egypt's tunnels were blamed by local farmers for ruining their harvest. Mick Mulroy, a former U.S. Deputy Assistant Defense Secretary, warned that it could make the humanitarian crisis worse. He did, however, note that flooding would probably succeed militarily and bring Hamas to the surface. Reportedly, Israel is also contemplating the use of thermobaric weapons and liquid explosives to disrupt the network. The former take in oxygen from the air and then explode, while the latter expand before going off. When compared to more traditional options, both produce explosions that are far more destructive. The possible effects on innocent people in heavily populated areas are a source of concern, though not a colossal obstacle. Another possibility is that the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, could construct their own tunnels and send drones, explosives, and possibly even soldiers directly into the center of the Hamas network. A captain in the IDF's reserves and civil engineer named Yehuda Kfir told the Financial Times that Israel should get to the heart of the Hamas system not from above, but from below. So said Kfir. Automated excavating machines that dig towards the target would be necessary. Intense aerial bombardment of the Strip by Israel has left the enclave littered with rubble, which hinders the effectiveness of ground-penetrating radar and acoustic sensors, and the dense urban environment of Gaza has further complicated efforts to locate and destroy the passages. During an offensive against the terror group in 2021, the Israeli Defense Forces allegedly utilized the 5,000-pound GBU-28 laser-guided bunker buster bombs. However, Israeli officials claim that Hamas has learned from past attacks and is now attempting to defend itself by digging deeper and encasing the tunnel system with reinforced concrete. The tunnels are a massive challenge, stated an official speaking to the FT. To make matters worse, the Hamas have planted booby traps and other impediments to our passage through the tunnels, raising the stakes even higher.